Hello, and welcome to the Tarot with Titania reading of the week for July 5th to the 12th, 2024. I invite you to close your eyes and take 3 nice deep breaths with me, and let's get into this reading. Pulling in air and light and goodness with every breath and releasing what no longer serves. On the out breath, and just marvel for a moment that your body does this automatically, bringing life force in with every breath and effortlessly releasing what no longer serves on the out breath. Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I'm here with all of your children, now and in the future, to do the reading of the week for July 5th to the 12th, 2024. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information we most need to receive right now, and to provide this in a manner that we will easily and effortlessly hear, understand, and integrate for our personal and our collective highest and greatest good. At this time, I'd like to invite my higher self and the higher selves of all of those listening, as well as an overlighting angel of communication, to be present and facilitate this exchange, ensuring that it happens in the highest and best way possible, and that we cover all that is in our personal and our collective heart and mind at this time to our satisfaction in this window that we have together here today. I'd like to invite the 4 archangels to come and hold the 4 directions around us, creating a sacred container of clarity, of wisdom, of healing, of transformation, of upliftment and peace. Across time and space, wherever you are held in this circle of light. I invite Raphael to hold the east, Michael to hold the south, Gabriel to hold the west, and Uriel to hold the north. Thank you for coming. Anything that doesn't match the intentions and frequencies of love and light, clarity, wisdom, healing, transformation, peace, goodness, whatever it is that is uppermost in our personal and collective heart and mind may be held here in a good way, and anything that doesn't match these intentions and frequencies is welcome to go now. And with that, let's begin. Okay, Creator, we have another beautiful week ahead of us. What would be helpful for us to know? What would be helpful for us to distinguish, to be, to express? How do we need to hold ourselves? How do we need to hold each other? How do we need to be on the planet at this time in service to our light, our life, our joy, our happiest unfolding as expressions of the light and servants of the unfolding of all the good that is here to happen. Okay. For our highest and greatest good, please. We're starting with the Fool. We know the Fool. We've seen the Fool a lot, haven't we? The Fool is that energy of eager anticipation. Can't wait to be surprised and delighted by life. The Fool starts out early in the morning, and it's a beautiful day. It's going to be a beautiful day as it unfolds, and there's an eagerness as the Fool just decides to just go. He just heads out the door. He has his little pack of goodies. He's got his stick and his dog, and away he goes. He's going to have a good day. He doesn't know where he's going. That's the energy of the Fool. There's this willingness to simply take the journey because one is compelled to. This is sitting in the recent past, which is relevant, of course, to our present and our future. This is energy we need to keep tapping into. We need to stay connected to that willingness to be surprised and delighted, the willingness to take the journey, the willingness to just see how things work out, trusting that all will be well. The Fool has tremendous faith. The Fool is connected to all that is in life. It's not a conscious, intentional, deeply thought-held faith, but simply a state of being, of connection to all life everywhere, knowing that one is part of life and connected to everything everywhere. And so when we go forth with a good heart, we're met by others with good hearts. We're met by that higher frequency of energy, the interconnectedness of all things. We attract on the level that we are emitting. So it's important to remember this quality of energy as we continue into this week. Being lighthearted, being childlike, trusting. Again, this idea of curiosity, surprise, delight, and wonder. foster those in the field of your experience and just see how differently life unfolds than the usual. The present card we have, the King of Hearts. So the masculine expression of mastery of the suit of water, emotions. So the King of Hearts understands the heart of people. He understands who we are, why we are the way we are, why we feel the way we do, and has tremendous compassion. Both he and the Queen are very intuitive, very connected individuals, and their strength is their understanding of humanity and our expression of humanity. And so the King of Wands is generous and kind and thoughtful and considerate because he knows he's human too. He's been there. He's become aware of his own heart, and in doing so has become aware of the heart of others. This is our present card. This is what we are called to be, is kind and compassionate, loving, seeing in others the good that is there and calling it forth from them, because we are all good at the heart of ourselves. And sometimes we simply need an invitation to express that goodness in the world in good ways. So this is calling us into mastery of our heart knowingness, of our connection to others, and giving us permission to call from them, to call out to them, and to be all that they can be, including ourselves. We get to call ourselves into being all that we can be. And it's a card of mastery. Once again, we're in that energy of mastery, and this is mastery of the heart, mastery of our connection to others, mastery of intuition, of the feeling sense, of the water element, of our being part of the human family, essentially one spirit expressing in many, 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 many forms. And we're called to be aware of that fundamental connection between all of us and express ourselves and our gifts from that lens that here we are to be unique. We're not here to be like anybody else, but it doesn't mean we can't be kind. It doesn't mean that we can't call the good out in others and that we can't grow together and be all that we're here to be. It's a beautiful card in the present, this energy of mastery on the level of the heart and really being willing to just make love possible by being who we are and being in relationship to others in beautiful ways. The near future, we have the card of opposition, the Seven of Swords. And she's holding something very precious close to her heart with her gloved hand and fending off the swords with her bare hands. There's something important that we need to protect from the slings and arrows of the world at this time. And it's okay to do so. It's okay to take care of what is important to us. We don't need to share it with everybody. We don't need to rip the Band-Aid off or throw ourselves into the deep end, so to speak. We can stay honoring of our sensitivity, honoring of what it is that we feel needs protection, whatever that might be, in the face of the onslaught of the outer world, the lack of sensitivity, the lack of connection, the lack of awareness, the lack of consciousness, which is sort of what we're in the midst of, this sort of soup of this kind of lack of groundedness. It doesn't mean that everybody's like that, but it does mean that there's a certain amount of this on the planet at this time, and we don't have to be completely raw and vulnerable to that. We don't have to make ourselves naked to that. We can protect what is important and keep it close to us as we navigate whatever that might be. That opposition, whatever that energy is that's up on the planet, we don't have to fight it with our bare hands. We can simply protect ourselves, that which is precious, hold it close, nurture it, and keep moving on our journey. Because you see, she's not sitting still. She's not turning to face that adversity. She's got a journey. She has a destination. She's moving towards something. She's simply deflecting as she keeps going on her purpose. She's not giving this a lot of energy. And I encourage all of us to do the same thing. Awareness, fine, but don't give it power. Reorient towards what your heart is calling you to, which is what she's holding. She's close to holding the precious thing close to her heart. Our heart is leading us. That's what this is telling us as well. We need to be led by our hearts, by our feeling sense, by our intuition. And the rest of this stuff that's happening on the mental levels, it's not really relevant. It may feel like it is. That's what the channels that broadcast this information would want us to think. It's very, very important for you to know all that information. If it feels important to you, by all means. But realize that what is most important is the direct, heartfelt journey and experience that we're here to have as unique individuals expressed in human form at this time. Our journey, our service is what is most important. Okay, so don't get distracted. Stay on target with what's important. The foundation card, we have the Queen of Swords. So we have King and Queen, masculine and feminine, energies. This is the foundation, why we're having the reading this week. This energy of clarity of mind. But what's so interesting is what we have is what is usually almost reversed, if you will. Because swords is the realm of the mind. It's the suit of air. And usually that would be occupied by a more masculine kind of quality of energy. But we have the Queen here. And here we have the King sitting in the energy of the heart, which is usually termed the domain of the feminine. And so what I think is very interesting about this sort of access to this reading this week is this calling to be more balanced within ourselves, to have more feminine in our mental headspace and how we be on the mental realm, to bring the intuition and the heart into the mind realm. And on the heart level, to bring more of a thoughtful, intelligent, dare I say even logical, the heart is not always logical, but to bring some structure and some scaffolding to our understanding of the heart, a plan, a working of the plan. I think you know what I mean, a sort of masculine kind of scaffolding structure, which is what the masculine does, to something as unstructured and flow as water. So it's interesting because this is really calling us, again, this quality of mastery, of holding both polarities within us with equanimity and grace and ease, being both the masculine and the feminine in our expressions, and knowing that that's going to adjust and adapt depending on where we are in our day and who we're interacting with. Different elements and aspects will be called to us as we dance the polarity with everyone that we meet. But it's so important for us to remember that the internal polarity is first, and having an ability to be at ease in both is also really important and helpful for us at this time. Staying grounded, staying in flow, staying in ease, providing ourselves with structures and patterns to follow as we focus on bringing our work to the world, as we take the journey. You want to bring snacks, right? That would be the practical mind. So the energy of the Queen of Swords, as I said, is the foundational card this week. This is the energy of why we're having the reading. So we have a very masculine world. It's what's been valued in the past. It's slowly changing. We're starting to have an understanding and appreciation of, well, not starting, we're well underway, of the feminine and the qualities of the feminine. And that what really is powerful is when we have both, and when we have them in harmony, and when we have them in balance. And so the Queen of Swords, for instance, is an individual who is feminine and practical. She's not letting her heart get in the way of making decisions. And I don't want to diminish what I've just said about the importance of the heart. But when I say her heart is not getting in the way, I'm talking about emotions not dominating her. She understands that her emotions are simply an aspect of the human experience and that she's above them. She sees what they are, she recognizes, acknowledges them, welcomes them, sees them, holds them in a good way, and then lets them go. She doesn't hold on to them. She doesn't justify her existence from her emotions or her actions. It's a different perspective. So this foundation card is relevant to us this week. Staying lofty, staying on the eagle's perch, staying neutral, taking that deep breath before we respond, and coming from love, tempered by our relationship to our mind, so that we respond appropriately and kindly and with respect and honor to all those we engage with, including ourselves, because that's really important too. We are really learning about loving ourselves here and holding both the masculine and the feminine within us and healing whatever wounds are there. Because of course we all have wounds from this. We have a pretty dysfunctional society that, has left us a little worn, and it's okay. We are evolving as humanity, and it's part of the journey. And with each experience, we gain more clarity. And with that clarity and that wisdom, we can move our lives forward in beautiful, powerful, wonderful ways and help co-create something more magnificent for the future as we take our journey consciously. So there's a lot said here. So our reading this week, taking the journey, being willing to take the journey, being surprised and delighted, full of faith, full of trust that all will be well, because we are coming from a clean and clear place and our energy matches that of the universe. We are met where we are emanating at. This access of the masculine and the feminine, holding that polarity in harmony, love, and balance within us, so that as we respond to each other, we're holding that loving kindness and calling that loving kindness forth from everyone that we meet. And that's how we transform our lives here on the planet, how we transform our experience as humanity, holding this beautiful mastery energy of the heart and the mind. And then this near future, this holding on to what is precious, protecting it, nurturing it, caring for it, so that it is not at the effect of the energies of adversity that are projected towards us. We don't have to engage with any of that. We can simply stay lined up with what is most true and aligned and congruent for us, taking that little spark that we're holding and nurturing it daily, giving it love and energy and attention, and not letting it get snuffed out. And one thing I will say about this is, often when we're nurturing something, we need to be very careful about who we share it with. Sometimes it's best just to keep it to ourselves, because others are keen to throw their energy into our field. And whether that's invalidation or enthusiasm and approval, it's still somebody else's energy getting hucked in our field around something that we're creating. And I think it's important for us to realize that when we're in the nurturing incubation stage of something, we need to give it space. It's kind of like pulling a seedling up every day to just see how far its roots go down. It's not going to grow very fast. And it's the same thing. We need to nurture that life that we are growing within us, our service that we're bringing to the world. So just continuing to nurture ourselves, to nurture our gifts, to nurture our ability to share, and to protect this beautiful budding gift that we have for life. Not exposing it to the ridicule and the slings of arrows of life and the world and other people's opinions, because it's not important or relevant to the unfolding of that. And in fact, what it might do is just kill it dead, and then we have to start over. So giving ourselves that space and honoring that sacred process of nurturing new life. And with that, let's pull the card to grow on. So Creator, what is it that we most need to know right now? Our card to grow on. How can we assimilate and integrate the information of this week and hold it in wonderful ways as we move out into life in service to more life? Following our inner light and love, honoring our feminine and our masculine balance. Okay, our card to grow on is the Fool. We have a double Fool this week. So very much this energy of heart open, stepping bravely out and trusting, holding good field of energy, holding delighted to get up and engage with life. Just think of it as the energy of early morning on a beautiful summer day. And you don't know what you're going to do with the rest of the day, but it's full of promise. It's full of potential. That's the quality of the Fool. So we're being called to engage with life from that space of promise and potential, of openness, willingness to be surprised and delighted, keenness to be surprised and delighted. When we go forth with an expectation to be surprised and delighted, we are surprised and delighted. That's how life connects with us. If we go out with a perspective that I'm going to hate it, it's going to be terrible, I'm not going to be surprised, I'm not going to be delighted, it's going to suck, we'll also have that experience. Where our set point takes us is where life meets us. So we need to be mindful of what is the frequency that we're holding as individuals as we're merging out into life. And having a frequency like this is way more fun, way more rewarding, way more satisfying then holding this other one of hardness and skepticism, or whatever you want to call it, that's sort of a separateness from. And maybe it's because people have been burnt in the past and disappointed in the past, and they're afraid to hope, or they're afraid to hold energy for something that can surprise and delight them. And if that's you, I hope that you'll reconsider. I hope that you'll allow yourself to open and soften a little bit and let life show up for you in magnificent ways. So our card to grow on this week is the Fool. First day of the holiday, first step on the journey of a beautiful, beautiful journey, full of love and light and engaging with amazing aspects of the life consciousness. This is our card to grow on this week. So staying present, innocent, engaged, curious, wondering, and willing, as I said, to be surprised and delighted by life, eager even for it. Staying fresh and open and dynamic. That's the quality of energy that we're being asked to hold this week. And it's a double because it showed up before, so it's really important. Okay, I invite you to close your eyes and take a nice deep breath with me. And letting it go. Doing it again. Feeling that life fill us with joy, with eager anticipation. And looking forward to all the beauty that life has in store for us. All the joy, all the celebration, all the wonder. The willingness to be open and have our minds changed for the better. Have our hearts move in the direction of more love and light and joy and celebration. Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I'm here with all of your children, now and in the future. I'm so grateful once again to be bringing this reading forward, representing our collective consciousness for our personal and collective good for this week of July 5th to the 12th, 2024. I ask for inspiration on how to keep our hearts open and light. I'm looking forward to how we will be surprised and delighted this week. And I'm grateful to all those who meet us here every week on all levels, both incarnate and in human form, to co-create these readings for our good. I want to thank you for being here as always. These readings wouldn't happen without your added energy, so thank you for participating. If these readings are something that bring you joy and uplift you, please consider sharing them with others so that the goodwill can spread. I wish you a beautiful, beautiful week, and I'll look forward to seeing you next Friday. Take good care, and let me know how you've been surprised and delighted. I would love to hear about it in the comments below. Much love and light. Take care.